Would you happen to have any Grey Poupon? But of course. One of the few ad campaigns that is actually quite memorable. If you're young, you don't know what I'm talking about. You can look it up. So here we have a GFCC, and that's the brand, and they did a 94 Rolls-Royce Silver Spur 3. The packaging says it's 164. And now we have this plastic here. Unlicensed. There's nothing here with approval by BMW or Rolls-Royce. Does BMW still own Rolls-Royce? That's the last I checked, but anyways, you can check out their website if you want. GFCC Toys. I've never done so. Nice little line drawing here. Is there tape dots? No tape dots, so be careful lifting this. Yeah, it's kind of a loose cover, right? If it's not loose enough, it will fall to the floor after you pick it up, right? So you want to be careful picking these things up. Couldn't find many pictures of a sky blue version of this 1994 model, but anyway, reading some internet info here. The Mark III version of the Silver Spur. First of all, the Silver Spur is a long wheelbase version of the Silver Spirit. In the Silver Spur series spanned between 1980 to the year 2000. But the Mark III spanned between 1992 and 1995. So overall, 465 were made. It's the first car to actually feature the retractable Spirit of Ecstasy. And I have to stop here because this photo is funny. The thing is a barge. Look at this thing trying to take a turn. It must have been extremely heavy, being a luxury car, high profile tires. It must have been crazy to drive that thing. And then here's a picture of luxury back in the day. Okay, so the thing was powered by a 6.75 liter V8, making around 300 horsepower. It was rear wheel drive only, and 0 to 62 or 100 is 9.7 seconds. So not a sports car, a luxury car. Alright, so I like the minimal base here. It's just a plastic molded base. It's got a carbon fiber or diagonal texture, which is great. It does have this nameplate, which I guess is alright, but I would have been happy just with a stamped text. But it tells you exactly what it is. 1994 when the car, and then there seems to be a limited production of these, like 500 of this color, I would assume. And it tells you the brand and the scale, so that's all good. The bottom is just 2 screws, so it won't spin during shipping, so that's smart as well. And then there's some sort of spacers there to hopefully keep it from getting crushed, or maybe possibly keep the tires from getting flat spots, but I'm not going to take it off the base. I don't care what the bottom of a car looks like, and I don't want to risk breaking my model. I'm going to zoom in here on the front wheel. Well, a bunch of vent holes, of course. I don't know if that's just filled in with paint. I do think maybe they're just passing air. There could be a brake system back there, but it wouldn't matter. You wouldn't see it anyways. And then you can see the double R logo in the middle. It's just not spun, to be vertical. I am curious if I can spin this tire. Oh, look at that. So it is spaced to roll, and it rolls quite freely. So if you wanted to, you could take this off and roll it around, but I think you'll break it. Yeah, I mean, there's a reason why it comes bolted to a base. Okay, unfortunately, the tire tread block's unnecessarily large on this. It looks like a high grip tire, like for trucks. And also the white printing of this ring is not concentric. It's off to this side here, so that's not the greatest. It is nice that the tire sidewall is bulging out though, like a balloon. Okay, this side here. Well, the white ring is better, so that's good. Alright. I'm gonna guess on the other side of the car, they might not be in that position. We shall find out. So looking at the body color here, it's just a sky blue. I don't think it's a metallic. Can't focus on it. I'm gonna try that door. Yeah, I think it's just a regular sky blue. There's a little bit of a bump here with some silver for the lock. The door handles are separate chromed plastic pieces, which is cool. There's a little silver paint down here, and this one running across the whole side, representing that chrome work. There's a raised bump here with orange for that marker. And then the side mirror is a separate chromed plastic piece, and being chromed plastic, it is a reflector of sorts. There's molded windows here with some chrome paint here for the, well, chrome work on the real car. And then the Rolls-Royce logo here, but it's really low. It shouldn't be this low. It should be up a little bit, and it shouldn't be this big either. Looking at the side photo, it's quite minuscule, but they wanted to exaggerate so you could see it. But I just wish it was positioned higher. It should be above this joint right here. Nice tight panel gap here for the fuel filler and the doors. Rear separate bumper. Alright, we'll get to the rear end later. Let's see about the front. Yeah, separate bumper here, and it looks like it's black with a silver stripe on it. And then the top might be silver as well. Yeah, it is chromed plastic. And then this headlight, very nice. We got some silver surround, and then the clear plastic is, I guess, coal molded or something, but the orange turn signal is so well broken from the clear over here. I don't know how they do that stuff. How do they do it so well? Or is it maybe painted? Maybe it's actually got a paint process on it, but it's very well done. And then the light buckets are actually molded to look like they have light bulbs, so I think that's a great headlight assembly. I think it's nice to have something on the license plate, right? So we know it's a 94. Although I kind of feel it would have been smarter to write Silver Spur 3 on it more than the year, but I guess they couldn't get that text in there. The ridging of the grill seems okay. And then the Spirit of Ecstasy, yeah, very delicate looking, plastic. It's probably proportionally way too huge. Yeah, it is, but what can you do? It's just, it would be so fragile, and maybe you couldn't mold something 64 times smaller than it should be. That small. Okay, anyways, nice silver printing here. Really nice paint on this thing. Look how it's such a minimal amount of orange peel. It's almost like orange peel to scale on a real car. Maybe not a real Rolls Royce, but say a Toyota or something like that, right? It's pretty nice. Alright, let's see, anything else here? No. And this side, yeah, so the R's are in a different location now. They're not going to sit there and match the wheels in a factory. And then the white stripes on these tires are nice. So only one of the tires had a bad white wall. This all looks fine. Yeah, this is, again, too low in my opinion. The rear bumper, again, yeah, so it's very much like the front. It's got a chrome top, but the sides are painted black. And then, again, nice to have something in the license plate. And then nice taillights. Look, you can see like these 3 light buckets behind here, right? And then some bucket there, light bulb, right? And then I guess that's like silver paint maybe, or clear plastic, I can't tell. The thing is so small. This is a toothpick I'm holding in my hand here, so I don't know, but some sort of indication of the backup light, but it kind of vanishes at the same time, so I don't know what's going on. Alright, so the badge there, yeah, let me see if I can zoom in. I'm at 4 times magnification. It's so shiny. I don't know if the camera can't deal with it, my phone. One would have to assume there's 2 R's there. Again, the paint's pretty nice back here, even under 4 times magnification. So, going to the top. Pretty good, yeah. Maybe that's just me, maybe some staining from my fingers. They put some red in the third brake light. That's a nice touch. Some chrome work on the rear windscreen and the front windscreen. And then you can see this photo etched grills here in front of the windscreen. That's really neat. And then photo etched wiper blades, and they're actually bent. They're bent to the windscreen. A little dust. Nice paint process, or possibly again maybe photo etched pieces. I'm trying to see now. I think that's a paint process there, those vents, but it's nice because you can still see the tan behind it. Although really this probably should be all black, but then you might not see the vents at all. I have to assume those are speakers. I don't know what that is. Maybe that's a Rolls-Royce logo on the real thing. But look, there's a decal here of a wood grain, just like that photo I pulled up, and then the silver and black of all the. One of those is probably an ashtray or a stereo or something. I don't know. All right, the seats have some molded ribbing there. Is there a rear view mirror? Yes, there is, and it's molded plastic. We're gonna need a flashlight. All right, put the thing in a vise. Yeah, look at that decal. That's pretty sweet. The gauges, white on black. The wood grain's coming through nicely. The steering wheel, it's molded nice. No badge in the middle though. I'm not sure if the real car would have had it. Oh, the photo I pulled up is an older interior. It doesn't have an airbag on the photo I pulled up, so my bad. Okay. Trying to look at the other side of the dashboard. Just a bunch of other gauges or something there. Okay, very nice. The rear view mirror. I'm wondering if it has silver paint. I think it does. Yeah, it definitely. Yeah, it's not black. The seat backs here for people, people with lots of Grey Poupon. I assume maybe there's tables in the back of these seats. I have no idea where the flashlight went. There we go. Alright, so those are probably supposed to represent wood panels that maybe fold down to become tables so you can smear mustard over there on your premium hoagies. Yeah, the center console up front looks good. There's some blue paint on this window. Oh, I think it's on the inside, that little speck of paint there. Oh well. Door panels way over there. Look, you got some silver paint process going on for those. The handle pull, the window actuator, and door lock, I assume. And then the top part has this wood grain pattern again. Decals. Yeah, very neat. Let me look at it from this side. It's hard to overcome the glare of the windows, but yeah, center console looks great. I'm more curious if there's foot pedals. I don't see any. I don't expect any. But sometimes people do it. They might mold it in or even have separate photo etch pieces. So the steering column, does it have stalks coming off of it? I think it does. It's a pretty fat stalk, but I wonder if this thing has a shifter on the column. I feel like, well, the old photograph I pulled up, I think the shifter is on the steering column. So it's possible they're trying to mimic that here. But there's no wiper blade stock or turn signal stock or something. You would think there should be two, at least, maybe three. Oh well. No big deal for me. I don't really look at interiors after these reviews anyhow. I'm just all about the outside and does it look right. And I think it does. Alright, a few other Rolls-Royce models here. This one's by DCM, it says. Of the Phantom 6. And there's 500 of this color livery. I think that was a positive review. I don't recall anything drastically wrong with this. I can't remember everything I do though. You can go back and look up that one. I like the two-tone paint job on that thing. I think my first Rolls Royce I got was the Phantom 7. Yeah, so I don't know who made this though. It's just one of these unbranded things, or yeah, nothing there. So anyways, it's nice. And you can still buy castings, things of this. I think I'd probably put that license plate on there myself. Wow, the growth of that. That's a long wheelbase version, but it's just huge. In fact, I gotta make room for the Phantom 8, the last one here. Now, this is a Mansory customized Phantom 8, and it's by Time Micro, if I recall. Yep, there it is, Time Micro. Cool little matte purple finish. Look at all the interior details. Yeah, very nice. And again, that's probably an extended wheelbase version, just based off the door, the rear door being so long. Big vehicles. But it's interesting, this vehicle's so old, and yet it's huge. Let's get a more human perspective down low. This is really low slung. I think it's just that maybe this is a more normal sized car, and that's just these other three, they're really big vehicles. If you've actually seen a Phantom 7 or 8, they're actually very tall. They're almost like as tall as an SUV. So I do think this is probably accurate. It's just that the other three are just exceptionally tall vehicles because they're all about luxury. Okay, well, which is your favorite? I think I still like the Phantom 7 the most. I don't know why it is. I don't know. You can check those out later and somewhere else in my channel if you want. I would have to say this is a pretty nice model. There's nothing really to complain about. Maybe the minor nitpick would be the tread blocks on the side tires. Could have been just ignored. Just smooth tires. The other models I put up there have much smoother tire sidewalls. In fact, all the other ones had better tires. And then that's it, really. Absolutely nothing to really complain about here. Oh, one of the tire white walls was off. Yeah, that was the one quality control problem on this. I suppose you could just flip the tires around though, and eliminate that problem entirely. Let me double check here. Let's just see if we can see the other side of the tire. Yeah, there's no white wall on the inside, so if you do have some messed up white walls and you're okay with just black wall tires, just flip them around. You'll be good. So GFC, a good one today. I feel your 300 SL convertible Roadster doesn't look like the real photos, but this one is fantastic. Thanks for watching, everyone. See you next time.